is our going to present with a new member to talk. So I brought Susan in. She's going to talk with you briefly about our need for volunteers for the folk festival. I've been partaking in that event for about 6 years. It's an eye opener. You want to see the great world. Every type of individual across the county attends this. I believe it's 100,000 people, and every kind of music. Never happened. Kind of bluegrass. So it is every kind of music, and it's a ton of fun. I poured beer. One of my favorite memories was as a first-year realtor, walking into a tent with my badge on, my realtor badge on, and a fellow pourer looked up and said, "Oh, you're a realtor. I need someone to sell my house." This is wonderful. So anyway, Susan.
Good morning. Thank you for this opportunity to tell you a little bit about the folk festival. It began in the 1930s. Eleanor Roosevelt, through the first one, decided that it was important to celebrate the diversity of the heritages in the country. It was quite a radical idea at the time to celebrate various kinds of cultures, and it really took root. And since the 1934, it has then expanded. Every 3 years, the folk festival goes to a new city and trains the folks on the ground to run their own folk festival. And that's what happened with Greensboro. They came to us in 2015, asked if we would like to host the folk festival, and we did. It was an amazing success right from the get-go. We have 15 different areas that you can serve in. Mostly we're bringing in 300 performers from across the country, and all kinds of music, as Steve said. There's gospel, and there's funk, and there's blues, and there's a little bit of rock, and there's international music. It's very, very diverse and eclectic. It's a great family experience. It's free. You can, parking is a little bit tough, but I would urge you to come down. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 9th, 10th, and 11th of September. We will have 23 different bands that are coming in. We have 4 stages, and we have 5 beer tents where we'll be selling beer and wine and cider. We need people to work in backstage. We need people in music lobby. We need people certainly pouring beer. I still need 200 people to do that. And that is the lifeblood of the festival. That is where the profit margin is. So if you're interested in getting involved, it's very, very simple to do. Just go to ncfolkfestival.com and click on volunteer, and there's a whole list of 15 areas and breaks it out Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Every shift is only 3 hours. And it's an opportunity for you to get out. I know that COVID has been really, really awful for all of us. For 2.5 years, COVID has taken over our lives and filled a lot of people with fear and sadness. And I tell you the truth, it's really, really hard right now to find volunteers. Excuse me. I think people are uninspired, maybe, unmotivated. Fear of COVID, there's all of that. But we have got to come up with 1,000 people to service and present this festival to 100,000 people. And at this point, I still need 500. And we've got 5 weeks from tomorrow is when we launch. And so I really would love for you to spread the word to your families, to your networks, to your businesses, your neighbors, and help us build the momentum that we need to carry this off, because I throw a lot of festivals in Greensboro, but this one is really the cream of the crop. If you haven't been to the folk festival, I urge you to come on down, even for a few hours. Bring a chair, bring a blanket, hang out on the lawn, listen to music. We're going to do it rain or shine. We're going to be there. So please think about doing that. And when Steve asked me to talk about why do you want to volunteer? I've got 3 main points. One, get out there because dopamine and serotonin gets released whenever you see a random act of kindness. And volunteering is an act of kindness. So if you see someone comforting a small child, you are having dopamine and serotonin released in your own body, even when you're not involved in that random act of kindness. So please, let's lift the joie level of our community. Number 2, you can make a lot of connections through business. You can find your new best friend. You can find a job. You might meet your future ex-wife. You don't know what you're going to. You just don't know who you're going to meet. You're going to be thrown in there with college kids and businessmen and stay-at-home moms and people from different cultures, and it really be a nice blending of characters that come together in festival life. The other thing is it's a really lovely thing to be a part of a big project. And at the end of the day, when we step back and look at what just happened over 3 days with 100,000 people, this, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. Just to be one of those people that did one of those things, it is an immense pleasure for me. So there's plenty of other reasons to come out and volunteer, but mainly do it because your city needs you. We are going to rock this city all 3 days, and I just don't think you can do any better than the Folk Fest. So thank you for your time. Spread the word, and I thank you. Yes. Oh, yeah.
What's the so the money is raised
for the foundation of next year? It costs about $1.2 million to throw this party for 100,000 people. And because it's free, we do have bucket brigade folks that walk around with buckets, and you can throw your dollars in there. And we raise money through the beer stations mostly, and then the bucket brigade. We do have a merchandise tent too, where you can buy t-shirts and CDs. And then we've got a lot of food trucks. So international, you can have anything you want. 4 different food courts.
What is the net financial aid? Hotels, restaurants, all that, there's some incremental increase.
That's a good question. I don't have the answer
Well,
to that.
I was gonna ask the question of why should we're gonna ask for financial benefits.
Right.
It'd be lovely to have that.
It would be, and that's a very, very good idea. We do impact the city in so many ways with the hotels
Well,
and the restaurants.
because I see it with the ACC tournament, they have $5 million.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to have that already used.
Yes, thank you. We'll do that. Yes.
And how much training for that?
1 shift, 3 hours. That's what we're asking. You can do it on Friday, on Saturday, or on Sunday.
You don't have to go into
No. If you're gonna do something a little more intricate, like with music logging, you will have a training session, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. And beer, we'll have a training session for beer because you think that everybody knows how to pour beer, but that's not really true. Not really true. So some areas will do some training. A lot of them you can just show up at information booth, for instance. You can sit down under a tent for 3 hours and hand out maps to people. Pretty easy. First aid, you can hand out bottles of water and Band-Aids. That's it. We can't do anything else for people. We have to call EMS if there's anything beyond Band-Aids and water. So these are all small little acts of kindness that we're doing, but I'll tell you what, if you're a 6-year-old with a bloody knee and you've got a Band-Aid, you're the hero. And if you've got a bottle of water for somebody that's about to pass out from heat stroke, you're the hero. So these little tiny things all add up together. And if you want to be close up to the music and working as a music blogger or backstage or as an artist buddy, now that's a job that you could spend the entire weekend driving around in a golf cart, which we all love that, and have the musicians in your cart and take them to the stage. And when they're done, take them over to get coffee. And when they're done, take them back to the hotel for a nap. And then they'll call you when they need you. And you are the artist buddy for this group. So we need, 30, 40 artist photos as well. So whatever floats your boat. I'm sorry that almost all of the inside sit-down air-conditioned jobs are full. They get full real fast. But we also need quite a bit of muscle if you have young, strong people in your life that want to come out and work in the infrastructure area. We start setting up the city 10 days before the Folk Fest. And so we need people putting up signs and building things, and then we need people to strike the set when it's all over on Sunday night and Monday and Tuesday. So if you're the kind of person that likes to put stuff together and then tear it apart, we like to have you on setup and strike. If you're more of a PR person and you like to schmooze with the community, come pour beer. You're gonna be slammed in there with a whole bunch of people, and it's fast paced and it's usually hot and you're on your feet, but it is probably the most fun place to work. Thank you, thank you.
That was great. Just a personal plug. I am co-captain of the music logging team, and I started with a colleague last year, Wayne Young, a great guy, and he dragged me into this venue. This is pretty cool. Every single piece of music, every act is recorded, logged, described, and kept at, UNCG, right? It's stored there for posterity and future research. And it is a lot of fun. The people that do music logging are super dedicated. It is relatively easy to learn. We do have a 1-hour training session prior to the event. And I think that we need about 35 more loggers. And it's a great job. It's probably one of the most comfortable jobs because you're under a tent, you're not out there, and you get to listen to music for the entire stay. So please, if you're thinking about volunteering, think of me first. That's really that. All right, Mario, you set?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Of course, we all know our new word member, Mario Scott, and he's going to give us a presentation. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So I'm a big fan of quotes. So I'll start with a quote, presentation with a quote that I get up every morning and say. And it's from Theodore Roosevelt. Believe you can do it and you're halfway there. So who am I? This is me when I was 4 years old. I was born in Greensboro. Well, sometimes when I'm introducing myself to people on a personal level, I say I'm an introvert by birth, extrovert by choice. So if I continue to talk to you, that's because I like it. So right now I'm working as a consultant for Bell Apartments. So what I do is help people find homes in apartment buildings. I lease, I get commissions, I get to talk to people every day. I get, just like here, the network with people. Sometimes we may not have applicants come through, so I send them to a realtor. So if you need anybody, just let me know. I'm an independent contractor and agent for FinFit Life. FinFit Life is basically it's fitness without financial fitness, and that's the vision of it. They are creating a system that helps families grow their network, protect their loved ones, and become healthier for those who wish to build a successful business. I'm also a coach and mentor. I coach baseball, youth baseball, and along with being a coach, you have to be a mentor because a lot of people come and go. So you have to not only coach them in the sport, but mentor them in life. And so that's one of the things that I was actually taught growing up playing baseball. And just last Thursday, I saw my information on Rotary, so that was something I was extremely proud of doing. So my family, my mom, she's Andrea Gallons. She actually spent 14 years in the Army. So growing up, I traveled a lot, seen a lot of cool things. Wish I had some of her Army photos. I had 2 siblings, Rodney Ross Jr. and Bobby Scott Jr. Now, the interesting thing about my youngest brother, he's the youngest, but he's 6'5". I'm 5'11", and my oldest brother is 5'9". Didn't make any sense, but okay. My oldest brother, he actually is an independent contractor so he's on freelance and all that stuff, so he does a lot of things internationally and does food trucks and food venues and stuff like that. And he actually got to meet John Legend just a couple weeks ago. And this is a picture I was going to tell you to me. And this is the one, the fellow on the right is my younger brother. So he, at one point, my oldest brother was taller than everybody, but now he's short. So I went to school at James Benson W. High for my first 2 years. I played baseball there, and I was actually at academy student where I studied the intro of engineering, and then I was like, I don't like engineering. And then I went to Ben L. Smith IB, which is that right there prepared me for college. It's very hard. I encourage anybody who has children now, if you want to push themselves, IB is the way to go. Then I went to East Carolina and studied business with a minor in Spanish and sociology. I have some photos. This is when I was FBLA president, and then in 12th grade, I got FBLA president, and some of the events I did for the county here. And this was my East Carolina photo. So in this photo, we have what's called the Live and Learn Community. Live and Learn Community was a community with only business students, and which was sort of our own program. We had speakers in the back that come every Thursday morning, just like how we do it here. And they would come and lecture us about what's going on in the business world, networking, what fields that you would like to be around. And some of the people who were in those fields got to shadow and just ask some questions as we take that something. And as I later on in my years, I think about the junior year, I got in contact with the business, and he offered me to be a host. And so what my job was just go and interview the speaker before they came and spoke to the college of business. In our amphitheater, some of you know that I've seen or met with Kelly King, who's the CEO of BT, CEO of Queen, and Disney. So some of the travels, I've been to 5 different countries. I have my passport stamp more than I've been traveling to the States and the United States. I've been to Peru, Bolivia, Brazil, Argentina, and Ecuador. I have some little photos from there. Oh, and an interesting story. So the trip that I went with, the first trip to Peru, there was a group, an organization called Dustin's Green. Dustin's Greenhouse was a organization that Mark was the owner of it, and he wanted to send students abroad who didn't have the opportunity to study abroad. And through his son, Dustin, who had died on his way to college, he wanted to make a board organization for him. So we had applicants, about 200 applicants in different counties, and where the students would apply for a chance on 10 spots where the students could apply and get an opportunity to study abroad. So a funny backstory was I wasn't supposed to go on the tour. When I did my application, I did my interviews. We did about 4 days of interviews, 2-hour sessions of interviews, so it was very tough. And walking with the group, he said, "No, you don't have any that no story. Like, what's your story?" I didn't have it. I didn't want to use my father not being there as a crutch. I said, I haven't went through anything hard that I've had to share. And he was like, well, better luck next year. Well, the following day after that interview, my last interview, I got into the newspaper. So what was going on? My stepfather, he is an old country man. He never used gas or electricity, so we burn wood all throughout the day. And I hated it. I hated getting up during the summer, start chopping wood all day. If I wasn't playing baseball, I was stacking wood, chopping something. We were driving somewhere and saw a pile of wood on the side, we stopped and looked. And so growing up, and on this day, I was outside stacking wood, just doing my thing, so I could go in the house, be outside. I just hated it. And Losing Record came by, he just walked around and said, "Hey, can you do a tour on you guys?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "Oh, sure." And my brother was just, the whole time my brother was talking to him, I'm just stacking the wood, stacking the wood. And it doesn't show over there, but the reporter asked, he said, what do you think about stacking wood? I said, I hate it. And that's what he put me in the business. And so the next day, it's following the interview, I got a call, and the guy goes, Mark says, how'd you do that? How'd you do that? How did you get in the newspaper? Now I gotta select you. It'll be in the And so that's how I got on the trip. And this was the group of people that I went with. A lot of the students are from all out different counties, a lot of from Ragsdale, Northwest. And the guy actually to the left with my shoulder, his name is Freeberg. Actual name Freeberg, and he's probably one of the funniest guys I've ever met. He was one of our counselors. And so he was the one who guided us through the whole trip, and he was 6'9", so whatever we needed to get somewhere, but hey, right here. And the actual, where I was in Peru. This is on the way to Machu Picchu. So Machu Picchu is about a week long, walking for 6 days, 6 nights. And we would camp out in the mountains. The only problem that I had was the altitude. I'm asthmatic, so going up to altitude was very, very tough, but a little bit of my athletic background helped me keep pushing. Some of the actual clothes that I got from some random Portuguese people. We were walking, it was like day 2, maybe 14 hours into walking, and you just see kids coming down the mountain. Where did this come from? He's like, hey, you want to buy a jacket? Sure. $2, gave him $2, and was just like maybe $8 for them, and went on about the way. This is the actual picture from Peru. This is at the top. I took this picture at the top. I took this picture at the top of Machu Picchu. And then on the side right there is the actual the view from the entrance. And at the top, it's called Huayna Picchu. Huayna Picchu is actually closed off now. The reason being is because there's no rails. So the time that I went was like the last bit of tour group that could go, because you went at your own risk. So at your own risk, if you fell off the side, it's a new problem. And so they closed it off. And this is actually the view from the top, looking down at that facility. I mean, the actual monuments down there. While I was there, I did several things. I did feeding the manatees, which is very rare. I didn't know it was a manatee at the time. They just like, oh, we're gonna get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. See that? And then this interesting photo, it was raining very, very hard in Amazon. And they had like documents for ships. And this guy carrying all those bananas, I don't know if anyone knows about the bundles of bananas, they are at least 60 pounds each. And so one day we were sitting out there and we were just waiting to board our ship, and he was struggling. And so I was like, well, let's just go help. And then we picked up one. This is bad. And he had about 6 bundles on his shoulder. And then you see me way in the back with just 2. And when I went to Argentina, people tell me all the time, that's not a real photo. That is actually a live photo from my rooftop that I was staying there. I studied abroad for 6 months in Argentina, in Puerto. And I thought that just the clouds in general were just very strange. And when I took the picture, they look like somebody just started dabbing paper. And this is the group that I went with. I was about 20 of us students from East Carolina. We spent those 6 months down there, 5.5 months down there, and we studied Spanish every day. We had a strict curriculum, is what they would call it. We were studying by 7:45 every day until 3 o'clock, Spanish all day. And then at 3 o'clock, you go back to your host families. One of the things that was very unique for me was you had the choice to stay with a East Carolina student or stay with the Argentinian family. I didn't want to stay with the students. I single on the class at the time. So I decided to stay with the Argentinian family, and it turned out to be the best decision ever. I had 2 host parents. One of them, his name was Nacho, and the other one was Procho. Nacho was a marketing guru. Marketing guru, he had his own firm, but photography for models and all things, and as well furniture. And Procho was actually a professional chef. And so all of the other students, they had, just the basic home, if their host parents make money, make good food. Me, I had the lifestyle. I had venues, parties, and I also had good food. So some of the hobbies that I've been playing baseball since I was 4 years old. Still currently do. I'm learning golf. So I have a couple videos about that too, or a couple shots that I have that I'll show you. And then I also used to be, for about 3 or 4 years, I was a professional gamer. Basically, I would, just like in a professional sport, I was held to a standard to compete in tournaments. Tournaments was range just from at the time, the highest tournament that I was ever in was $2.5 million. Out of the world, I was ranked 11 out of 4 million. So it's something to do while studying. So this is some baseball clips. I'll show you. Now playing the triad league around Greensboro. It's another one. I actually bat both hands. I'm left and right hand. That was actually a home run on the left side. Okay. Oh, sorry about that. And this is an actual, let's see. Let me see if I can get it back up there. This is my first ever try at hitting a golf club, hitting a golf ball. And I was in Thomasville, and I judge it how All right, and then the competitive gaming, as I was saying, I did that for 3 or 4 years. We can't really see it, but right here, we were ranked #1 in the country, right here. And so the team that I played for, it's an abbreviation. There was a couple guys, and the thing is about competitive gaming, you got about a 2 or 3 window of being a great player. Just like any sport, you have natural talent and you have training talent. I was one of those players that had natural, but then I got around a coach that helped me progress and taught me how to train, professional train in the gaming world. I got really, really good. And the team was called Merkham. That's how it pronounces. And most of the times, if you saw us in your lobbies, it was, oh Lord, here we go. It's like how God wins all the tickets. Like, here we go. And I actually published a book 2 years ago. The name of my book is called The Story of an Adolescent Writer, Poems and Quotes About Nothing. To people, if you like the poem, they're about something. But if you don't like it, then it's nothing. And I did this when I was 26, and it was a very good book, I would say. And it's a bunch of quotes and poems that I wrote, and some quotes that I really enjoyed over the years of growing up from teenager to now. And I was actually featured on a podcast in which, when I was 26, I started a business or consulting firm, I guess you would call it. And what I was looking to do was acquire businesses with little to no money at all on how to do. So I got with a mentor that was better than me, and he taught me all the ins and outs and how to go to find businesses with looking at the profit and loss statements and how to leverage their P&L statements to a banker or someone in the commercial field to see if they can leverage that as an asset to give you a loan to take over that business. And so that was something I did right before COVID. And the downside about that was, at the time, I was going to buy a Jan Pro business. It was one in Greensboro. It was listed at $3.1 million. I went to the Bank of Oak Ridge and talked to the bank agent, Steve, I think down there. And we had everything going right. We had all the profit and loss statements. We had the audit report. And there was one thing that the seller didn't want to give up. And we were sitting there saying, oh, all we need is this, and I can sign the day, get the loan, start building wealth. Simple. Didn't want to give it up, and then all out of nowhere, it's like, I'm flying to Denmark tomorrow. Someone else turned in the LOI. Good luck to you. And I was like, but didn't argue with it. Said, you know what, probably the best thing that we did that anyway. And then COVID happened, so a lot of, if anyone's in banking now, COVID really showed that three years of profit and loss does not matter. 3-6 months of revenue or whatever you're going to be showing us to get any type of cash. Then on top of that, they were only focusing on the paycheck protection program anyway, so you couldn't really get funding anyway if you were coming. And the quote that I'll leave you all with: we all die. The goal is to get out of this bring something that will, and that's something that is with me every day. And last but not least, this is a picture from the actual top of one picture at the peak. And that's something that I have in my bedroom. And it's just like, you know, I'm not afraid of heights simply because my mom, she jumped helicopters all the time. And the first time that I didn't want to jump out of a roller coaster with her, the first thing she said, she was like, she looked at me, she said, you know what? You're a punk. That day on, I never been scared of anything. I'll jump it out. I've been drugs, Amazon, I've seen really big spiders in the Amazon, snakes, you name it. So that's something that I was proud of and accomplished. And I really appreciate you all taking the time to discuss this. Last thing, one of the reasons why I really joined Rotary is because I'm learning how to better myself by being around better people. And I sort of try to keep myself to learn how to be a gentleman. And one of the things that tied being a Kingsman gentleman to Rotary is the number 3 rule. A gentleman is happy to serve, whether it's opening the door, picking up the bill, or merely calling a cab for the next morning, asking for help. So that's one of the reasons that I tied that and being gentleman to Rotary.
Thank you, Mario. We are gonna ask you to do some magic here. All right. It's the one that says Sky Bando on it.
Yeah.
671-917.
I guess 927 doesn't work, right? Guess I should have been better prepared for this. Oh, yeah. Well, he's got a problem. For those who want to escape. Thank you. All right. All right.